Elite Facts presents
10 things you should never do on an airplane.
10.
Never wear contact lenses. So what's the big deal with wearing contact lenses on a plane? Well, the reason is actually pretty simple. Contacts usually make your eyes drier, and that combined with the dry air that's already inside the plane brings on rather uncomfortable results. That's why you should wear glasses or one-day lenses if you're taking a long flight. And bring along some eye drops too. So forget the contact lenses and stick with glasses for the trip. You'll be much better off.
9.
Don't joke about bombs. We know this one should be pretty obvious, but for the love of God, never say bomb on an airplane. Needless to say, it's a serious thing that should never be joked about in airports or on planes. Trust us when we tell you that no one is going to find jokes about guns, weapons, or anything else that sounds threatening to other people's lives funny when you're passing through an airport terminal or when you're on the plane itself, especially not the flight attendants who have the power to remove you from a flight if they think there's even the slightest chance you might pose a security risk.
8.
Beware of motion sickness. One of the most common things people suffer from when traveling is motion sickness. Now, when traveling on a plane, you can bet that there will be more than a few people on the flight with you who are suffering from this condition. So here's a tip. When it comes to feeling motion sickness and avoiding this most uncomfortable feeling, it's best to choose a seat in the front of the plane or somewhere near one of the wings. A day before the flight, it's a good idea to watch what you eat. Don't eat anything fried or fatty, and don't drink any alcohol.
7.
Don't drink too much. Speaking of alcohol, it's probably best to skip the mile-high drinking altogether. No one will complain if you have a cocktail with dinner, but overindulging in alcoholic beverages can have consequences ranging from dehydration to getting kicked off of the plane for disorderly behavior. Also, please keep other people in mind when flying. God knows no one wants to sit next to some random stranger who's tanked out of their mind, reeking of alcohol, slurring their speech, babbling incessantly, and eventually passing out on your shoulder. It's not pleasant. This goes double if you suffer from motion sickness and decide to have a few drinks. As we mentioned, if you do, you better remember one thing: a good supply of barf bags.
6.
Unclog your ears. We're sure everyone has experienced that feeling of your ears clogging up while taking off or landing because of the pressure difference. It's an absolute nuisance. Well, here are a few ways you can minimize your discomfort. Try making sucking and swallowing movements. The best way to clear your ears if you're an adult is to use chewing gum, while drinking water can be very helpful for kids. Closing and opening your mouth once in a while can work too. Or you can blow off your ears. That's where you breathe in, then pinch your nose with your fingers and breathe out, like you're pushing the air through your ears. This method should be used carefully if you have allergic sniffles or a runny nose. Also, don't push too hard or you could injure yourself.
5.
Don't try a new medication for the first time. If you've just been prescribed a new medication and you have no idea what the side effects will be for you, you should most definitely be at home when you try them out. At least that way, if need be, you can call the hospital and get checked out rather than having some sort of episode while traveling 35,000 feet in the air. Never take medication in flight that you haven't already taken for a test run at home. Or at the very least, wait until you get to your hotel room before you take it.
4.
Don't inflict your feet on other passengers. If you want to be public enemy number 1, then by all means take your shoes and socks off while in mid-flight and air your stinky feet out. Listen, we have no problem with people slipping off their shoes to be more comfortable on a long flight. It's pretty much expected. But be considerate of others. Your feet should be as unobtrusive as possible to everyone else. That means don't prop them up on top of a seat back or wiggle them into the gap between the wall of the plane. The poor person in the seat in front is entitled to lean against the window without getting a face full of your bare feet. Second, put your shoes back on before you head to the bathroom. You'd be surprised at how many people go to the bathroom without their shoes on. And finally, if you know you're prone to bromodosis, that's the polite scientific term for smelly feet, be considerate of your fellow passengers and leave your shoes on.
3.
Don't eat stinky food. Okay, this one is a minor one, but still, we think it needs to be said. Unless you're one of those people who likes to annoy the other passengers sitting near you, and to be fair, it can be funny to see their reactions to the smell, don't bring a tuna sandwich or something equally as smelly with you onto the flight. Not only will it stink up the entire cabin while you're eating it, but it will also ensure that your breath will be horrendous for the rest of the flight. Think of the poor person next to you.
2,
Don't infringe on your neighbor's space or screen. With airplane seats getting smaller and smaller, passengers with broad shoulders, long legs, or big bones almost can't help spilling over the bounds of their seats. But here we're talking about the intentional and obnoxious behavior of spreading your legs out as much as possible, hogging the armrests, or flipping your ponytail over the back of your seat so it obscures the video screen of the person behind you. Or worse, depending on the length of your hair, actually whipping the passenger behind you with your hair. Don't laugh, we've seen this happen before. Considering how small passenger spaces are getting, soon enough we'll actually have to share seats. Good luck keeping to yourself when that happens.
1,
Don't recline your seat during meal times. This one is a much debated pet peeve when traveling. All we know is we hate it when people do this. Some people feel it's their seat and they can recline it whenever they choose. But once the food and drink carts start rolling down the aisles, we think we can all agree that it's only courteous to make sure your seat is upright so the people behind you can have full access to their trays, right? And that's our list. Did we leave any out that you can think of? Let us know in the comments below, and please remember to subscribe and tap the bell button to be notified when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.